Welcome back to Lane Switching. Today, we're back in the studio, and today I'm featured with Ottawa's up-and-coming youngin'. We got none other than K3soulja. How you doing today, man?
Chilling, man. What about you?
Solid, man. Solid. It's a cold day, cold winter day, but thankfully, we're inside the studio and chopping it up inside and getting right to it. Let's get right to it and talk about your upbringing. Tell us, the intro to K3soulja.
All right, so I was born in Montreal, and I moved to Manor Park area. I stayed there for 5 years. Then when I was 13, I moved to Pineview, which is east of Ottawa, Gloucester. And yeah, and growing up, I'll say from elementary school, I was probably just doing normal kid stuff, playing ball, sports like soccer and shit. And then after middle school, that's when I started going into YouTube. I started making YouTube videos. I made a channel and shit. And then I just it transitioned into music when I got older.
That's super dope. So what grade are you in now?
Grade 11.
Okay. So just wrapping up high school.
Yeah,
for sure. So tell the people what is K3soulja? What is your name?
K3soulja. What do you mean
where'd you come up with that name?
Where I come up with the name?
Yeah.
Okay, so K3 has always been my number, my lucky number. My birthday is also 23rd. I took out the 2. So what's it called? My name starts with K, so K3. And after the soldier part, I actually have a boy, Lil Heater. Shout out Lil Heater. He gave me the name K3soulja, when I was a youngin'.
Okay. And was that ever influenced from Soulja Boy or anything like that?
Not even.
No, that's fair. And you're just new into making music. I think it's just 2023 where you just started dropping on streaming platforms. For first time listeners, how would you describe your music?
My music is some people they pay attention to lyrical stuff. But my music is you feel the vibe type shit. The beat, the way I be rapping, the flow. You don't really pay attention to the lyrics. You just feel the vibe of the song.
Wow, that's sick. So if you could label your music in a subgenre, I guess what would that be to you? Probably not gangster rap, probably something.
Nah. Shit. Emo rap? I seen that. Or maybe hyper pop.
Yeah.
Or some people just call it underground music.
Yeah, that's fair. And it's almost stuff that's taken influence from artists like Yeet, artists like Playboi Carti, artists like Lil Uzi. Back in that 2015, 2019 era, I should say, that was kind of the SoundCloud era.
Yeah.
And now this is almost the new generation of the SoundCloud. These are SoundCloud babies, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
coming up.
Type shit.
Yeah. Exactly. And let's talk about a little bit about your live performances. Obviously as an early artist, not many people, even especially in Ottawa, not many people get the opportunity to get up on stage and show their music out to a live audience. But you already have on 2 occasions now. You opened for Young Dread earlier this year, or I should say back in 2023, and then it was just yesterday, man, you were opening up for Sizzy. So talk about those experiences. How was that?
So for the Young Dread, I pulled up I think as an artist you need to be chasing opportunities. So me, I was just texting people who are having shows, and then I hit up All Cap, who were hosting the Young Dread show, and they said I could open for them. Now when I pulled up, I performed, and there was other artists performing, and it was pretty live. And it was my first performance, so I thought it was pretty sick for my first performance. And yesterday for Sizzy, that one was probably a little more less audience than the Young Dread, but it was still calm. I still fucked with it.
That's dope. And obviously it's only 2 performances in, but on that first time hitting the stage, you had the butterflies. Were you a little nervous?
Yeah, after the first 5 lyrics, I felt the crowd was hyped, so I became hype, and I wasn't nervous no more.
Yeah, for sure. I think once you get that energy off from the crowd, and it's not a dead crowd, it's lit, and people are fucking with your music, so it feels good. And It feels good to go forward with that. And you got more live performances coming up. You got
Yeah.
something coming up. This interview might come out after, but you got a January 20th, Reborn, downtown. What's the concept behind that? How did that all come together?
Okay, so my boy Waters, he also makes music, and NV and GK Crazy. We're hosting our first performance, and like no one from we're not that known in Ottawa, so we called it Reborn, and yeah, January 20th. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. Yeah.
And so, do you feel like almost like you and your fellow artists, do you feel like almost you guys are kind of like outsiders?
Cause we have a different vibe. I feel like music in Toronto and like Ottawa, they all have similar music. Like melodic rap is pretty popular, and you don't really see like the type of music we make. So like that you when we're labeled as outsiders, as you said, like I yeah, like I see myself as an outsider type shit.
For sure.
Type shit.
For sure. And is it something where it's maybe not for everyone? Do you feel like the younger generation, your generation, is getting more influenced by hyperpop artists rather than another subgenre? Do you think it's taking over? Like the Playboy Cardi babies are almost taking over as this new generation of rap and leading the way.
Yeah, for sure. Cause especially with TikTok is like pushing out the that music genre. It's pushing it out to people, to like people who don't even bump that shit, people who's never listened to it. Like I be seeing some random nigga listening to like Ken Carson and like Destroy Lonely and shit, and I wouldn't like envision them liking that type of music. But since other people are starting to like it more, everyone's just like adapting type shit.
For sure, for sure. And switching back to your music, you were very prolific in 2023. You've been dropping singles, EPs, album. I think it was an album, two EPs, and three singles,
Yeah.
something like that. So, for people who haven't checked you out yet, like, what would be the number one go to thing? Fuck K3. You got a bunch of different singles, the two EPs. Like what is it? What should they go check out first?
Check out first. I'll probably suggest Zaza, which was the first song I ever dropped.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll suggest that first, cause like, cause that track was like my first track for me, and it was probably like my hardest too, like the most raw track I ever made. Yeah.
Do you feel like, to you, is that your favorite track, personally?
Favorite track I probably made is Locked In.
Mm.
Yeah.
And speaking about Locked In, that was your first visuals. So for your first ever music video you dropped for Locked In. How did that come together? How did that project come together?
So the guy that made the video, Jacob Scree, we were both like thinking of ideas for Locked In, and it was like Halloween time. It was like October 20 something. So we were thinking of like having a Halloween vibe to it. So we booked a haunted house. We went to this forest, like abandoned forest, like and shit. And we got some nice shoots, and like it was like a Halloween vibe to it, and it was tough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super tough. It almost looked like I don't know if you ever checked out the spot in Ottawa or just outside of Ottawa, Saunders Farm.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. It was kind of like on some like old school like spooky shit. It was super dope visuals. Definitely it's like some underground type shit. And yeah, I think if you haven't checked it out already, go check out Locked In. Super tough visuals for sure. And speaking back more to the city, like, how do you feel your music could change the Ottawa hip hop scene? How do you feel like your other artists that you've been working with, whether it's Waters, GK Crazy, how do y'all feel like you can change the scene?
Sure, I definitely feel like it's adding diversity. If that's the right word. It's like it's adding a change into Ottawa rap, because I don't think you've ever seen someone like hop in this type genre. Like maybe Night Lavelle.
For sure.
Yeah, but like I don't think you really see it type shit. So I think it's definitely adding some diversity.
Yeah. And obviously Lavelle, like he had a lot of success in Ottawa. He has had a lot
Yeah.
of success and has a very strong fan base from his hometown. But again, it was reaching out to, you know, the outside. It was going outside of Canada to really garner the audience he has now. So, you know, now with the success he has, I think he's opened up another lane for artists such as yourself, where it's like you don't feel like if you're not that guy who wants to do gangster shit, just don't do it for, you know, the image. Don't do it for whatever. Do it you because that is genuinely, you know, you as an artist. Don't try to don't try to fake it. You know what I mean? And for your music, how do you think that can translate to a larger audience in the future? Whether it's, you know, being known all across Canada, being known across North America, the world, whatever.
Well, one thing I know for sure is when you're marketing your music is not to just like target it to Ottawa, to
Yeah.
try to target it to like many different places, and you have to make connections with like other cities, like Toronto. Like put your music out to Toronto, put your music out to even United States once you got some fan base in Canada type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just before we were filming this interview, we were actually listening to it. If you haven't heard it already, it's an underground Toronto track. If Looks Could Kill by 10K Moss, Wavy Jackson, and you know those are some type of artists I could definitely see you tapping in, whether it's them or other artists outside of Toronto, potentially Montreal. Who knows, right? You know, you being from Montreal, tapping back into your, you know, original hometown. You never know. I think that's a problem, not a problem, but people get too much tunnel vision, I guess, in Ottawa, and they focus too much on being better than the next guy in their own city, rather than just being the best version of themselves. And you know, I think that's very mature of you to like look at it that way. It's super dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously, you got Reborn January 20th. You know, if this interview comes out before, go get tickets. If not, hope y'all enjoyed the show. But besides that, what can we expect from you in the future?
Shit, in the future, I'm gonna be getting some features with some big artists from United States, like some big artists in the underground scene. And yeah,
If you
I'm
can
a
name a top three artists you want to get features from, who would that be?
top 3.
Yeah.
I'll say first Osama's son, if you know him. Second probably it'll be sick to get a track with Night Lavelle.
For sure.
And then third, probably 10K Moss.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. That would be sick. So for the people, where can they find you on social media?
Shit, K3soulja on IG, TikTok, even Snapchat, Twitter, everything.
Yeah. That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already, go check out K3soulja's music. That was the K3soulja interview. Appreciate you for sitting down and doing this, my man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Appreciate for
worries,
having
boss.
me.
No worries, man. No worries. That was the K3soulja interview. That's my guy, K3soulja. I'm DF2. Peace, y'all.